Hi, Fude lovers. Welcome back to my channel. And if you are new, welcome to my channel. It has been a long while since I've uploaded, so I'm excited to finally get a video up for you guys. I know I'm a little bit behind everybody else with their 2024 favorites. I've just been super busy. So I definitely wanted to pick out some 2024 favorites, showcase them today. I might do a separate video of my 2024 favorite eye brushes and 2024 favorite Chinese brushes. Because as I was trying to pick out my favorites, I was like, oh my gosh, it was so hard choosing between some of my Japanese made brushes and Chinese made brushes that I'm like, all right, I think I'll just do separate videos because I don't know if it's just me, but 2024, when it came to Fude, felt like more than a year. It felt like at least 2 years worth of brushes for some reason. Like, especially BoBo, she is amazing and has just given us so many amazing Fude brushes in 2024. I just feel like, oh my God, she spoils us. So, yeah, without further ado, I'm going to get right into it. It was really hard narrowing down brushes because, like I said, there was just so many that I wanted to show, but figured I would start with these guys, go from there. But yeah, if you're interested in seeing a separate eye brush video and Chinese brush video for favorite of 2024, definitely leave a comment down below and I'll go ahead and film those for you guys too as soon as I have time. So yeah, we'll start with this one here. So this is the Coyudo White Canadian Squirrel powder brush. This is 55 millimeters, and it's got the beautiful Mount Fuji rattan handle. And I only wish that I could truly capture how beautiful this is, especially in natural lighting. It is just like out of this world beautiful. It's got the shifts of like purple, green, blue. Just beautiful. If you have these Mount Fuji rattan handles in person, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, beautiful brush head. It's so fluffy too. This one um, fluffed out so much. And my friends who have this brush, theirs was the same way. It's just such a fluff ball. Love it though. It's such a beautiful, oh, it's such a gorgeous brush. I actually at some point had to put it down because I was using it so much for powder that I couldn't help myself. It's just such a luxurious, pampering experience every time I use this brush. Of course, got it from Fude BoBo. Feel very, 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 very fortunate to have this brush. I never imagined in my wildest dreams that I would ever own a Coyudo White Canadian Squirrel large powder brush. I just didn't. It didn't seem like they'd be coming back at the time, and I just started to finally accept, like, yeah, it's not going to happen. But I got so lucky. I was able to get one from Fude BoBo. Just a gorgeous brush. Oh my God, you guys. Obviously, with it being 55 millimeters, it is going to be more limited in its use. So for me personally, I would just love using this with loose powder. Look at those tips. So soft, so resilient, poofy. Oh my God, I just love it. I can't speak highly enough about this brush. If these White Canadian Squirrel large powder brushes come back, highly, highly, highly recommend. Which you never know. And the next one is another large Coyudo powder brush, but this one is the Red Canadian Squirrel. And this has the Lotus rattan handle. Absolutely gorgeous. This is another one where it really shines in person, especially in natural lighting, but it's got some beautiful tones to it. It's just gorgeous. Really, really love the Lotus handles. They're very elegant looking. So this one is also 55 millimeters, and this is another beauty I never imagined I'd be lucky enough to own. I used to see so many Instagram posts of like older Fude collectors that have been around for a long time who own these brushes, and I just used to lust at their posts, like wishing someday I could own one. So this was another absolute treat that BoBo was able to stock on her website in 2024. And this is another one that at some point I felt like I had to just put it down. I try to rotate my brushes as much as I can, but when I have like favorites, sometimes you just keep wanting to reach for those brushes. And this was one of them with the white Canadian. Now, of course, very expensive brush. So of course, this is definitely a brush I want to get use out of, along with the white Canadian Squirrel. But again, since this one's got the 55 millimeter length hair, pretty limited. You're just going to only use it for powder, but definitely a pampering, luxurious experience. Very soft, resilient bristles. Look at the coloring. Oh my God, just gorgeous. I just love Canadian Squirrel, white Canadian Squirrel bristles. They are my weakness. And if I had to pick between, honestly, I have a really hard time because I just love them both equally. They're both my favorite hair types of all time. And I'm just so happy to see that they pop in and out of stock every now and then on the Fude market, because I really, at one time, it felt like they were never going to come back. So very exciting. And then, of course, another red Canadian Squirrel Coyudo brush. This brush I had to show. I just couldn't help myself. So me and two other Fude friends, you guys know who you are, my Fude besties. I love you ladies. But we were so lucky to get this 50 millimeter red Canadian Squirrel brush on CDJapan. And I believe at the time they were outlet brushes. Let's get the gorgeous Maquille design. In person, it's just got this beautiful goldeny shimmer. Oh, just gorgeous. But yeah, so I believe there was 5 total of these brushes launched on CDJapan. It was an extremely limited release, and you want to talk about heart attack. As I was checking out, I really didn't think I was going to get lucky enough to get it, and my heart was literally pounding. It was one of those times where, and I'm sure you guys have all had that, where you're just like having a pure heart attack while trying to check out as soon as you can, because like this 50 millimeters is just perfection, because here it is next to the 55. So with the 50, and I really wish, I hope and pray that they bring this out again so that you guys can try it, because oh my God, it's like the best of both worlds. It's like the large powder and the small powder put together, and it's just, oh my God. I just love the 50 millimeter length because it's, I don't know, it's just a lot better in my opinion. I don't know. I love the other one too though. Don't get me wrong. It's not better. It's just more of a pampering experience, just like the other one. So you know what I'll do real quick is I'm going to bring out my small powder brush, red Canadian Squirrel, just so you guys can see. So this is the small powder brush you see come in and out of stock quite a bit. And here it is next to the medium powder brush, the 50 millimeters. So as you can see, it's just a perfect length. Like if we put them all side by side, just that medium size is just perfect. I hope they bring it back for you guys. I know other people wanted that brush so bad, and I just really hope they bring it back because it is a wonderful addition. I don't know why Coyudo doesn't do more of those, to be honest. And I really hope that they bring it back. And I'd love to have a white Canadian Squirrel Coyudo medium powder brush as well. I have like Chinese versions, but I don't have the white Canadian Squirrel. So that's definitely on my list for hopefully owning someday. But yeah, can't talk enough about that one, to be honest. So this one next is the Coyudo Blue Fox Year of the Dragon brush. This is sold on Fude BoBo. At the time I'm filming it, this brush is out of stock, unfortunately, but I have seen it come in and out of stock here and there. So definitely keep an eye. I always like to update you guys as well on my Instagram stories, as well as the Facebook group. So whenever I see restocks, I do my best to update you guys when I can. So if I see this come back, I will let you know, because this one is a massive favorite of mine. This brush, I would say Blue Fox is literally probably my next favorite besides Kolinsky. I don't know, it's hard to say, but this is another favorite bristle type for me. It is just phenomenal. This brush I used with my Hourglass loose setting powder. Oh my God, for the longest time. This was another one where I just couldn't put it down. It's just a dream to use. So silky soft. Oh my God, if you have sensitive skin too, by the way, Blue Fox, any of the Canadian Squirrels, wonderful brushes. Oh my God, they're such a treat. And I love the gradient silver to black handle. It's just gorgeous, really pretty. So I actually, on vacation during the summertime, I had brought this with me, and that's how I know it's truly a favorite, because it was a brush that I immediately grabbed and I knew I had to take with me. So that speaks volumes, and the quality is just wonderful. It's just amazing. It just gives you like this most airbrushed finish to the skin. I mean, it's like when I'm using this for powder, I don't even want to stop, if that makes sense, because it's just so amazing. I hope and pray that BoBo brings out some more Blue Fox for us, because they are just so good. And this is another Blue Fox sold on Fude BoBo dough, and this is the angled Blue Fox brush, and the dragon, you have the dragon handle as well. It's got Yoshiki on the other side, same with the other one. And at the time I am filming this brush actually is now back in stock. So this angle brush for me is really unique in shape. They call it that 3D look, and I know there's a goat version as well, but this brush was a real surprise for me on how much I loved it. So I used this for bronzer, and oh my God. So it was one of those brushes where, like, when I picked up the bronzer and was like applying it, it's almost as if as I was applying it, it was already blended. It was the most airbrushed, beautiful finish. It's just a very resilient hair type. You know, Blue Fox, it is not that kind of fox where it is floppy by any means. It's got great resiliency. Just amazing. And what a neat shape. So if you're interested in this brush, I highly recommend it, especially now that it's back in stock. And I do see these Blue Fox brushes go in and out of stock quite a bit. So if you are interested, highly recommend. It's just amazing. And actually, I wanted to, just so you have an idea on shape, this is like a brush that a lot of you probably have, is the Hakuhodo B531, which is now known as the G531, I believe. So here it is next to that. And you can see similar in shape, but it's also quite different. It's just got this roundness to it. It's really, really unique. I don't know. I just really love it. And it was one of those brushes where it was like even more beautiful after I washed it. It's just so poofy. Amazing. I am really, really, really loving this brush so much. Any bronzer I use it with is just so, so good. It never fails. And then the next one here is the BoBo Bisuto Kolinsky cheek brush. And this brush, when I was looking through my collection to see like what brushes I wanted to show in this video, this was the first brush I grabbed. This brush, probably if I had to pick any brushes, honestly, is definitely top 3 for me. Easy. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous handle, ferrule. I love the gold ferrule with these Kolinsky brushes from Bisuto. The whole presentation is just so beautiful. So this is European dressed Kolinsky. So it is a lot softer, straighter, and smoother than other Kolinsky hair that you'll see on the Japanese market. You can really see how straight that hair is. It's so smooth. Right at the base here, You don't see any waviness. It is just super straight and beautiful. It's got that goldeny color to it. Ugh. I used this with both cream and powder blush, and phenomenal. This was another brush I couldn't stop using. It's so good. This is currently available on Fude BoBo's website now at the time I'm filming this. It is a pricier brush. Of course, as we know, Kolinsky is definitely a much pricier hair type. Of course, Canadian Squirrel is as well, but this was a big splurge purchase for sure, and I do not regret it at all. It's got the perfect shape to it, and it's really dense, but not too dense. What I mean by that is it's got a good amount of hair packed in, but what's great about it is intentionally there's a slight little gap here, and then it just tapers up so perfectly, and it just allows it to have this beautiful movement, because as we know, or as some of you may know, Kolinsky can be stiff. If the brush is bundled a certain way, it can definitely be stiff. But with this, it is not stiff at all. Honestly, definitely the softest Japanese Kolinsky brush I own by far. I'd have to compare it to my Chinese Kolinsky brushes. It's probably the best Kolinsky I have in my collection. If I really have to think about it, honestly, probably yes. But if you're interested in seeing this in a video compared, I know I did a quick little video on my Instagram a while ago, but that was when the brush was pre-wash. So this is now post-wash, and I just love the way it bloomed. I'm really excited for the Kolinsky and Fox mix brush that BoBo's releasing. That's going to be nice, especially if you're somebody with more sensitive skin. You don't really love Kolinsky. Mixing it with Fox is really intriguing. I'm interested to try that. I think it's going to really, really give it this like wonderful movement, even though of course this has that already, but especially for like a shorter bristle brush, that's going to be fun. Definitely fun to try new hair mixes, but wonderful. Top 3 for sure. Love, love, love. This is also from that same series, BoBo Bisciotto, Kolinsky round eye brush. And I love this for concealer. Oh my God, it's so good. And it's the same hair as the previous brush I just showed. Smooth, soft, straight, gorgeous Kolinsky heaven. Love it for under eye concealer. It's got really good movement. It's not stiff. So as you can see, it really moves nicely on the skin. It's not stiff. I know some of you though who do have sensitive skin, sensitive lids, did mention it did feel a little prickly. So keep that in mind, that if you have extremely sensitive skin, what I think is extremely soft might be different from what you think. And that's always something to consider. We all have our own preferences, and that's what makes everything so fun, because there's so many different brushes available. Definitely something for everyone, that's for sure. But really, really, really been loving that. And you know what's great about Kolinsky is it never soaks up product. So after I use it, you just wipe it down on a microfiber towel, and it's as if you never even used it. It's like brand new again. So I always do that with all my brushes. I wipe them off on a microfiber towel in between use, just so it helps preserve the bristles for a longer time as well. This is another beautiful BoBo release that she gave us. So there was actually 2. So this was the first batch, and it's another large eye brush, but I use for concealer. Love, love, love. So this was the first one that was released, and this also has really nice movement. And then this was the second one that was released. And Yoshiki actually changed the brush to what he felt was more preferable. Here they are side by side. So honestly, I love them both equally. I think they're both wonderful. You know, they're pretty similar, but as you can see, the lotus handle one is thinner in a way. Like this one fluffs out a bit more, whereas this one's a little bit more thin, a little bit more compact. But I don't know, I just love them both. Honestly, they're both so good. I love using both of these. I don't favor one over the other, so I know like maybe some of you might favor one over the other if you have both, but me, honestly, I just love them both. Very, very soft, really, really nice Kolinsky hair on these brushes. And these are very straight too. Really nice. Oh my God, these are so smooth. I hope she brings these back for those of you who missed these ones, because these are, oh my God, amazing. I almost hate showing brushes that aren't available anymore because it's like not fair. So hopefully she'll bring them back. And then we've got the Coyudo Red Canadian Squirrel High Grade Psycho Goat Mix cheek brush, also sold on Fude BoBo. And this brush really pleasantly surprised me. This ended up being a favorite as soon as I used it. Oh my God, do I love this bristle mix. And I love White Canadian Squirrel and Goat Mix, so it's to no surprise that I love this brush just as much. But this one, I was actually using it with my Hourglass palette. So those like highlighting powders that you can use for under the eye to brighten your under eyes, it fits in those pans so perfectly. And just the way that it laid down that powder and just blended it out and made everything look so airbrushed and just heaven. I honestly, every time I use that palette, I have to reach for this one. It's just perfection. And it's such a good size. So, I mean, you could use it with targeted blush if you want, highlight. For me, I'm really been loving it for under eye powder. It's just phenomenal for that. And I really love these red to black gradient Yoshiki handles from Coyudo. They're really beautiful. And it looks really nice with the Red Canadian Squirrel mixed hair. Definitely love the eye brushes from this series. So if you guys are wanting a video, I'll definitely, those will definitely probably be in there. Those are wonderful. So I'm looking forward to see if BoBo gives us more brushes in this mix. If she does, all for it. Love, love, love. And it's so soft. You know, even though there's goat mixed in, honestly, it's not prickly at all, especially because it's that high grade Psycho. You can see like the shine in the bristles. That's when you know it's just so fine and soft, silky smooth. So if you have sensitive skin, this one won't be a bother in my opinion. It's still very, very, very soft. All right, and then last but not least, we have the Coyudo Kolinsky Paddle Cheek Brush that was sold on Fude BoBo in 2024. And then this one, of course, has the beautiful, beautiful rattan handle. Just beautiful. Oh, I wish I could capture the shift as as perfectly as I'm seeing it in person, because I feel like natural light is where you really, really see it. It's got this gorgeous like pink to blue to green. Oh. So anyway, so this one is currently no longer available at the time I'm filming this, but if it comes back, highly recommend. I always wanted this one I got before the Bisuto. This release was obviously before. So I always wanted a Japanese Fude Kolinsky paddle brush. You know, we've had so many of those candle shaped brushes. So seeing a paddle brush, I was like, oh my God. And it's like the perfect size, very versatile. I use this with blush. Love it, love it, love with blush. It applies it so effortlessly, blends it out in no time, just gives you that nice airbrush finish. Really, really, really nice brush. So if this comes back in stock, highly recommend. Yeah, it's just a lovely brush. And actually, I'm just going to pull it up next to the Bisuto just so you guys can see. So here they are. Here's the side. And you can see the Bisuto. What's so unique about it is it's like round paddle, if that makes sense, because you can see there's hardly like really any crimping. It's probably like a single crimp, whereas the Coyudo has much more of a prominent crimp. You can see it. And you can see how much thicker and meatier the Bisuto is. Oh, that's what I love about it. It's just so plush. Here they are from the top. And the hair is definitely different. So Coyudo, the current or the latest batch had like a little curliness to it. It's still soft, but the Bisuto one, I mean, you can just see the difference. Oh yeah. That European dress process really does make a difference. You can just see how straight and smooth it is. Oh my God, just love. But honestly, they're both wonderful. So if you don't want to splurge on the Bisuto and the Coyudo comes back and you're wanting a nice Kolinsky paddle brush, it's really, really, really nice. But yeah, so we made it through. Honestly, I could have put even more in here, but I was like, all right, I gotta try to keep it as limited as I can. But I hope this was helpful for you guys. If you have any questions, definitely leave them down below. And again, if you're interested in me filming a Chinese brush 2024 favorites video, I'd be more than happy to do that. Let me know. And also any eye brush videos, any other recommendations you guys have. I'm really, really hoping to get back into filming, getting back on a filming schedule again as life slows down, hopefully. So yeah, other than that, thank you guys so much for hanging with me, and subscribe if you're not already. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.